why don't we get started? So today, guys, I want to recap the last 4 sessions. So who's going to talk about the dream?
I
Okay.
To me, a dream is like, it's pretty far out, like maybe 13 or 14 or 10 years. And it's kind of your end goal and what you're doing. So it's your end goal in baseball, like playing Major League Baseball. And it's like what you work for, like all of it comes together and what your end goal is for that sport.
Okay, perfect. So 10 to 15 years out, it's the end goal. It's big. It's exciting. It's why you get up in the morning. Great. Who's going to recap the mission?
I got mission. So a mission is like something like about 2 to 3 years out that you need to accomplish or you would like to accomplish, and it's like in line with your dream.
Okay, perfect. So it's if we're climbing a mountain and the peak is your dream, a mission is like a plateau, right? It's a resting place along the way so you can check in.
Yeah.
Perfect. Who's got goals?
I got goals. So goals are kind of like stuff to complete, like usually like kind of currently. So
Okay.
they're like, yeah, there's like just stuff
How
to
far
like
out?
usually like a couple of months, maybe to a year.
Okay, 6 to 12 months out, right?
Yeah.
Good. And we talked
Yeah.
about SMART goals, Cap. What did the S mean?
Specific. So like
Okay.
you have to, yeah. So use like the 5 fundamental tools of baseball: hit for power, run, field, and throw.
Okay, and the M was what?
Measurable. The goal must
And
be.
that was a really important one that we talked about, right? Everything you got to do, you've got to figure out how to measure it. And
Yeah.
I think Cade gave us the tricky one where he said, well, what about throwing from 90 feet? What did we say about that?
I think we said like where or.
Yeah, and we would create a test, right? Out of 10
Yeah.
balls, how many did he throw online?
Yeah.
And what's the A?
The A is attainable. The goal must be like attainable within the period. So it can't be like, oh, I'm gonna try to throw 10 miles per hour in a month. It has to be like,
Right.
yeah, it has to be attainable.
Good. And the R was what?
Relevant.
Okay.
The goal, yeah, has to be relevant to the overall mission and dream.
Okay. And then what about the T?
Time bound. The goal must have a deadline. So yeah.
Okay, fantastic. So we talked about goals and SMART goals driving our daily activity. And so who wants to read the John Wooden quote?
I am.
Okay.
If you fail to plan, you are planning to fail.
So what does that mean to you, Eric?
To me, it means like if you don't have a plan in life, then you will probably not have success.
Right. That's exactly right. So in order to be successful, what do you have to create, Eric?
A plan.
Okay. And so when we were able to get on the field before shelter in place, what night did we practice?
Thursday.
Tuesdays, right? We went to the field on Tuesdays. And then we had skills. What day did we have skills?
We had skills Thursday, our team did.
Yep. So we knew that 2 days a week we were going to get on the field, and then you were part of another program called Trio. And how many days a week was that?
3 days.
Right. And so,
Monday,
so that was starting to build your weekly plan in line with your what? Your goals, your mission, and your dream. And so that planning is really important. And most people fail when it comes to the plan, right? And we did a little test today with Jordan. Jordan, what did I ask to see on your phone?
How many hours I was on my.
And do you
screen.
mind sharing with this crew how many hours you're on your phone a day?
Like 4 hours.
4 hours. So Eric, we practiced on Tuesday nights. How many hours did we practice on Tuesday nights?
2.
2 hours. So if Jordan was on his phone 4 hours a day, how many practices was that?
2.
2 full practices a day on his phone. Now, I got a question. Are phones bad things?
No.
No.
Are we saying you should never be on your phone?
No.
No.
But when I'm on my phone 4 hours a day, is that helping me get to where I need to go?
No.
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 Unless maybe I'm a sales guy. Do I got any sales guys on the call? Yeah, no, I don't. I got some baseball players, huh? So I think that's something important to put that plan in place, because it kind of helps guide your daily activities, right? And so then when we talked about putting together your plan, there were two components that we laid out in the chapter that we addressed here. Which two components were they?
Academic and baseball.
Okay. And why do we need an academic plan? I mean, you guys all said you wanted to play in the major leagues. So what do you need school for?
Without academics, you can't play baseball.
Why? I mean, I know a lot of people that don't go to school and play baseball. Why do you need to do academics now, Brady?
Like in high school and college, if you don't have a good enough GPA or you don't have good enough grades, you can't get on the field.
Okay. And that's absolutely right. But you know what? It's bigger than that. And what did we talk about being a champion? You've got to be a champion when?
All the time.
So Ben, why all the time?
Because then you'll have good habits like for everything, and you'll always be giving it your best.
Now, I know your dad a little bit. Let me ask you a question. If you were slacking off in the classroom and maybe had all D's and C's, what do you think your dad would say?
I'm taking away your phone, no baseball. You're studying like 6 hours a day now, stuff like that.
Okay, and that would put what on you? Would that
Stress.
it put stress on you, huh? And
Yeah.
even if he let you keep playing baseball, but he put that stress on you, do you think you could perform to the best of your abilities?
No.
No, right? Because you've got a stressor that's being put on you. And that's something that's really important to think about, because what we talk about is doing your best. And if you put your head on the pillow at the end of the day and you've done your very best, should you have any stress?
No.
No, because you gave it all you had that day. And that's why having an academic plan is really important. So the other aspect was an athletic plan. What were the two components in the athletic plan? How many tools in baseball?
5.
Okay, so we had the 5 tool component.
And the strength and conditioning.
Right, and why is strength and conditioning important?
So that you could get stronger and faster.
But why does stronger and faster matter? Patrick, why? Oh, your mic's not working. Cade, why does stronger and faster matter?
Because wait, am I muted? Oh, okay. Because you have to be stronger to get to your goal.
Yeah, because what is your competition doing?
Getting stronger as well.
Yep, getting stronger and faster, and that's really important. So we talked about that. Now we've got the athletic component, which includes the 5 tools and strength and conditioning. We got the academic component, and then so we talked about the element of planning. And before we go into that, who's got their book in front of them and wants to read the first Bobby Knight quote?
I got it right here.
Okay.
The key is not the will to win. Everyone has that. It is the will to prepare to win that is important. Bobby Knight.
Okay. And so if I asked everybody on the call and I said, do you want to win? What do you think everybody would say?
Yes.
Yes.
Is there anybody on the call that doesn't want to win? Okay. That's what I thought. What is the great separator?
How we're willing to get there.
Yeah.
Yep. But that's called what?
Preparing.
Effort.
It's called preparation. Because here's the thing, right? You guys are still in junior high school, and in junior high school, if you put in a little bit of work in your athletic, you can get by on that. But what happens to the game every year?
It gets
harder.
It's
It gets faster and faster, right? And at some point, you're going to reach the ceiling of your athletic ability, right? Your natural athletic ability. And so what's going to make the difference when that happens?
Hard
How much
work.
Fair and hard work.
Yeah, your preparation, right? And here's the thing about the preparation, right? Hard work is just one element of it, right? Because here's the thing: how many tools are there in baseball?
5.
Okay, so if I worked hard at hitting 8 hours a day, 7 days a week, do you think I'd be a good hitter?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the challenge, and we talk about this all the time, what else do you need to be a baseball player?
Academics.
No, I'm still on the athletic side. You do, but on the athletic side,
Coaching.
Fielding and throwing.
yeah, you've got to be able to do the other stuff. And so if the only thing you ever do, you're working hard. We'd all agree, right? If you were working 8 hours a day, 7 days a week on hitting, are you working hard?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
But see, the whole preparation and planning is a little bit off because you didn't balance that out to the other tools that were important. Now, let me ask you a question. Do you have to practice all tools equally?
No.
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 And how do we know that?
Because if you're a PO, you only have to practice pitching.
Okay. But what else? Where else does that play? How many? So my good friend Paul Kogan with the Dodgers, right? He's drafted a lot of guys. And what does he say about draft picks? How many tools, elite tools, do you have to get drafted? There's 5 tools. How many elite tools do you have to get drafted?
Probably like 3 or 4.
One
Yeah.
elite tool. So what does that mean?
That
So as you start getting into high school and figuring out what type of player you are, you've got to accentuate that elite tool. Ben, what does that mean, accentuate?
You have to like work on it more and more, so like it gets even more elite, and you could get like more offers and stuff.
Right. So that's the big thing, right? And so, maybe your tool is the hit for power tool, right? So you're going to emphasize that a little bit more, but it doesn't mean you're going to ignore the rest. But how am I going to emphasize it more?
I'm gonna like work on it more.
Right. And how are you going to manage that? Back to what Bobby Knight said, right? You're going to prepare,
Make
or
a
you're
plan.
going to plan, right? So what did we say that was important to planning? There's 3 things that are important to planning. Number 1.
Having a dream.
No. So we had all that, but we're in the grind now. We're in the weekly plan. What's number 1? I put 2 little charts in there to help you.
The athletic plan.
Yep. So but what do you have to do with that athletic plan?
Like writing it.
Okay, so we got to write it down. That's number 1, right? We got to write it down. And the two charts we put together, it's like a matrix, right? What's across the top?
Across the what? My mic's kind of scratchy.
Across the top.
The days of the
Weekly.
week.
Days of the week.
Plan.
And what goes down the left-hand column?
Goal.
Goal.
Your goals, right? And so you're gonna put the days of the week in your goals, and so you're gonna write it down. What was the next thing that we said you had to do? You got to set aside time once a week to do what?
To
Social downtime.
reflect.
To reflect on it, right? You've got to review it, right? Because last week's plan is like a what? It's your report card, right? So Cap, what do you do? If you take that 1 hour to reflect on last week's plan and it's a report card, what are you looking for?
How you did on like your goals and
Right.
like yeah.
So do you have to accomplish everything to be
No,
successful?
but no, you can accomplish some of them and still like drive.
Yeah,
for the
so
other
you
one.
want to try to accomplish 90 to 95%, right?
Yeah.
And then if you didn't accomplish a couple things, what do you need to do for them when you plan the next week?
Make sure you get the
Yeah. Include the ones that you didn't really get done that much.
Yeah, you've got to prioritize them, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to write it down. We're going to reflect on it. And there's one other thing we have to do. What was the other thing we had to do? You should have one person that we all signed up to do this other thing with.
Communicate with your partner.
Yeah, you got to share it, right? And why do you share it?
So they can know your goals and help you along the way.
Right, and they can check in with you, right? Because it's a long journey, right? When we're talking 10 to 15 years out for our dream, that's not easy stuff, right? That's a long journey. And what makes it a little more fun along the way?
Having a friend to do it with.
Yep, having somebody to do it with, hold you accountable. Now, there was a risk in the planning that we talked about. What's the risk? You don't want to become a what? A box checker, right? What's a box checker?
Just does things to get them done.
Right. And why is that a risk?
Then just going through the motions.
They don't put their
And is that
best
gonna
effort
get you?
into it.
Yeah, is that going to get you where you want to go if you just go through the motions?
No.
No.
No, you got to do it with what? With what?
Intent.
Purpose and
Intent.
urgency, right? You've got to execute your plan with purpose and urgency. Okay, who did anybody put one together for has anybody done this yet for their goals?
Yeah, I did my first week.
Okay, give me one goal and read it across Monday through Friday what you're going to do. So tell me the goal and Monday through Friday what you're going to do.
Okay, so this was for my athletic plan, and the goal was to so me and Scotty have been going to our local field and just throwing bullpens. So, and we can usually gauge how hard I'm throwing. So I wanted to like make an improvement on that. So Monday I was gonna do the workout and go on a run. Tuesday I was gonna go to the field and we hit there. We throw bullpens. He throws down to second and from his catcher's position. Wednesday I do the workout and run. Thursday, go to the field again, throw a bullpen. Friday, workout. On Saturday, workout and run. And then Sunday is an off day on the trio program, but I still want to hit off tee, throw the cross ball against the wall, and keep my strength and conditioning going.
Okay, cool. That's fantastic. So what did you guys notice about that? What's the first thing he did? He wrote it down, right?
Yeah.
And he reviewed it, and then he's what else did he mention? He's got
His
a partner,
goal.
right?
Oh.
Yeah, it's a goal, and that's definitely going to add to the goal. But he's also got a partner he's working with that. That's fantastic. Did anybody else write something down? No one else wrote anything down?
Well, I have an academic plan.
Okay. Let's hear the goal and then the 5-day process.
Well, my goal is just to like know when everything's done, turn in all of the assignments because we don't have any grades anymore.
Okay.
And so on Monday, I don't have any Zoom calls, so I just do all my homework and check for like my grades if I'm missing anything. And Tuesday, I have a Zoom call, so I have to get on that and listen to the teacher and then do all my homework. And then Wednesday, I have another Zoom call. I have to do all my homework too. And Thursday, I have no Zoom call, so I just do all my homework. And Friday, I have a Zoom call and do all my homework.
Okay, fantastic. That's a great job. Here's an interesting thing that Jordan said. What did he say about his grades right now?
There aren't
any.
like,
There aren't any grades. So let me ask you guys a question. Does that give you a pass on doing your work?
no.
Right. What is it? Why does the champion do the work?
To have everything done and just know that he did everything.
Yep. But there's even something higher there. Why would you do the work in the first place?
To get better.
To get better, right? That's the bottom line. So right now what's going on, and you know, this is disappointing at some levels in the national piece where we're not keeping track of grades anymore. But who do you have to do it for?
Yourself.
You got to do it for yourself. And that's okay. And us champions on this call are going to do it for ourselves, but don't slack off right now in school. Does anybody else have one they want to share? All right, well, do me a favor. Let's take that as an action item to get that done for next week. So Friday, tomorrow might be a good day to plan out the following week. So do that and send that to me. Who'd like to read the final Bobby Knight quote?
I will.
Okay.
I'll do it.
All right, Ben, we got you.
Discipline is doing what has to be done when it has to be done, as well as it can be done, and doing it that way all the time.
Okay, so what does that mean?
You have to do things like to the best of your ability, like every single day, 24/7.
Right. So that's effectively doing your best, right? You guys know who Bobby Knight is?
Yeah.
Right. So John Wooden was probably the most successful NC2A basketball coach of all time, and Bobby Knight's probably in the top 5. So if you were one of his players and you went to bed at night, what would you have done? Did his players put their head on their pillow knowing they gave it their best?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, because that's what he expected, right? And that's how he got to be a legendary basketball coach. It wasn't for everybody, right? There are a lot of basketball coaches that are not Bobby Knight, John Wooden, that maybe they didn't hold themselves to as high a standard. But the key with this is you want to make sure that as you're going through this, that you hold yourself to that high standard, because at the end of the day, the person that is going to be happy or not happy about reaching their dream is you. And we want to make sure that at the end of the day, there's no regrets in your path to reaching their dream. So anything else anybody else wants to accomplish on today's call? Anything anybody wants to share?
No.
I was just thinking about the 5-tool thing and how you only have to have one tool. I thought 2 examples of that were David Ortiz and Edgar Martinez. Even though they weren't very good at fielding, they could hit well, and that's they put most of their time and effort and they prioritize that. So I thought those were just 2 examples.
I'm really glad that you brought that up. So I haven't looked at David Ortiz, but I have looked at Pablo Sandoval, right? And would you throw Pablo Sandoval maybe into that same category that you're throwing David Ortiz into?
Probably.
Okay. So here's my question on that. When I said you only have to be elite at one of the tools, pro scouts rank players on a scale of 20 to 80. So if you're elite, you're somewhere in the 65 to 80 range, okay? And so we're talking about hitting there. So Pablo Sandoval, would you have said that Pablo Sandoval was fast?
No.
No.
What do you think Pablo Sandoval's 60 time was?
9, 8.
So would it shock you if I told you that Pablo Sandoval's 60 time was once recorded at 6.8?
Yeah.
So what does that tell you about Pablo Sandoval? What's a 6.8 60 time?
Pretty fast.
That's pretty good.
That's good, right? That's better than the average player. And so when I talk about the tools and only needing to have one elite tool, the rest of your tools are in the middle of the range, right? So that doesn't mean that you can be a weak fielder, a weak thrower, or a weak runner. It just means that you're not elite there, right? So, but I'm glad you brought that up, Brady, because that allowed us to clarify that a little bit. Anybody else have anything else they want to add?
No.
Okay, cool. Well, I got one more thing that you can do for me. if you guys are reading this book and then enjoying it, it would really help me out if you gave me a review on Amazon for it. And so work with your parents, but I'd appreciate it if you'd go on there and give a review of the book, because I want to get the word out so other people can take advantage of this too. All right.
All right.
Yep.
Cool. All right, guys. Well, next week we're going over chapter 8 and chapter 9. And the second half of this book is a lot about mindset and how you go through this stuff. And this is going to be really important as, you know, you guys aspire to be elite athletes. So I want you guys to have a fantastic weekend, and you're going to get your plan done, and you're going to give me a review on Amazon of the book. Appreciate the time, guys, and we'll see you next week.
All right. See ya.
Coach,
Thank you.
Coach.
Yep.